You vote for Donald Trump.
A couple different reasons. Main reason is probably going to be in regards to the security of the country. Second reason was going to be in regards to I believe he had a better economic plan, and that's going to be the my two largest reasons.
Okay, so to clarify, you think that there's more security within the country with Donald Trump as president,
I
and
believe
you
it's
think
more.
that the economic policy is better. Okay, let's just clarify. Do you have you been around the past few days?
Yes,
Have you seen what's happened to the economy in the past few days?
yeah, that happens a lot.
Did Donald Trump intentionally cause that?
Yes,
So Donald Trump intentionally crashed the markets,
when you use the word
and
intentionally,
you think he has better economic policy?
when you use the word intentionally, I would say that his intentions weren't for that to happen. However, I do believe he knew that would occur. Yes.
Okay, so he intentfully engaged in tariffs knowing that it would crash the markets, right?
Well, knowing it would have a substantial effect. Yeah.
That it would crash the market. So you're totally okay with him doing that purposefully.
Well, you're saying purposefully that like his main intention wasn't for that to occur. It's
It,
a
it was. It was. It was actually absolutely for that to occur.
you believe that he instantiated the tariffs to crash the market. That was the whole idea.
I think that's a part of it.
Do you think it's so that he could? Or you think for
If
insider
he did
trading?
that, if he did that knowing that's going to happen, no, I'm not claiming that. If he did that knowing it's going to happen, I think he intentionally crashed the markets. That's my point. Why do you support Donald Trump even though he like intentionally crashed the markets?
I think the end goal of his plan, although in the short term it obviously affects the market, long term I think it's going to have a better outcome.
Okay. In the long term, what beneficial outcome do you think that there's going to be? Wait, so actually, you think it was ultimately good that he crashed the markets?
I would have to ultimately hold that position, right?
Okay. And you're totally okay with him crashing the markets then?
Okay, because
What benefit do you get from crashing the markets?
okay, again, so the markets temporarily crashed. We saw this happen under Biden. When it happened under Biden, Biden's remark exactly was, "We don't judge the economy based on the stock market. We
Well,
judge it upon
that's
other
that's
things."
not it at all, right? What you didn't take into account is that we're saying that it wasn't caused by the Biden-Harris administration, whereas this was explicitly caused by Trump. Like it was
Right,
explicitly caused by his policy.
right. So the idea here is that
But you said that was purposeful and that it's like justified given some sort of great thing that you're going to get in the long run. So I'm asking you, what great thing are you going to get in the long run that justifies crashing the markets?
yeah, I think we're going to see an influx of jobs come to America. I think we're going to see a lot of things that are made in the USA. I think that we're going to it's going to end up benefiting the average American. We're going to see pay raises, things of this nature, and it's ultimately has a better effect than the negative temporary output we're currently seeing.
Okay, so you understand that like it is the case that there are many of aspects of the production process that come from countries around the world in terms of materials. Even though something says made in America or assembled in America, that doesn't mean that every aspect of that production process comes from America. So if you tariff the entire planet, right, at massive levels, that's going to cause massive levels of inflation and it's going to cause economic contraction. You think that it's going to cause an increase in the GDP? No. Economists actually indicate there's going to be recessionary effects because of the implementation of these literally blanket universal tariffs across the board.
You're saying that what goes into the actual production of the actual product itself, even if it's made in America, the other things that could be used for are
Yeah.
tariffs, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a.
Isn't that going to hurt American businesses that rely on aspects of the production process that come from countries around the world?
I would say it can, yes. But again, I would say it's too soon to really say. I will say this is that his plan can either be great, it can be great, or it can be wildly detrimental. Okay, I'd say it's too soon to really know right now.
I
But
think
we
it's
are.
already shown to be wildly detrimental.
Well, again, the stock market has dropped some, but I mean, we've seen a drop of this nature before, and we've recovered from it.
When was the last
Listen,
time we saw the nature before this one of this nature before?
again, well, the Biden administration didn't cause it, but it happened under Biden Harris, I
No,
believe.
not to this extent. Did you see how quickly it dropped? It did not. There was not a like multiple day period where there was like 5 to 10% drops in like the S&P 500 and Nasdaq.
So your mic just cut in and out. So can you say that again, please?
Yeah, there wasn't like multiple days during the Biden Harris administration where there was like to like 10% drops in like the S&P 500.
Yeah. So theirs was over a more slow. It slowly occurred as compared to this being more like over the course of
And
4 days
again, not
happening
caused
over.
by the Biden-Harris administration policy.
Well, how does the stock market look right now? We're seeing a consolidation.
How does the stock
We're,
market
we're,
look
we're-
right now? The stock market,
right, right. No,
the stock market doesn't look
what
great.
no, I understand what I'm saying is now we've seen a decline followed by you know what a consolidatory period is.
Yeah. So wait, please tell me how you're going to justify like in the what are you getting in the long run? I like how you're using all of this
Yes,
to
yes,
deflect away
because the
from the broader point.
right, okay, okay, because we saw a period of decline followed by consolidation, and when we see this historically, it usually means you see consolidation followed by an uptick. So we're probably going to see recovery coming here. Now, if we do continue to see a decline, I will concede to you immediately. You're 100% right. The thing is
A
that we saw a
recovery, but
decline.
like I'm saying, what a recovery from what Donald Trump caused? I'm asking you, what do you get that justifies even causing this in the first place?
I would say again, which it's going to be large companies or corporations coming to America. We already see it with different vehicle manufacturers.
Again,
We see it with
you
Apple. We see it with.
well, Apple
We,
Apple announces that every presidency. Businesses that rely on aspects of their production process that come from other countries around the world are going to be negatively impacted. Plus, American companies that rely on global demand, right, being propping up the value of their goods that they sell, right, is important for them to be profitable as businesses. Those also will rely on like how many like workers there are. If there's an overall decline in GDP, you would see like an increase in unemployment. Does it make sense? So that means that there's going to be lower productive capacity of the economy. That means there's
okay, no, I
less
see what you're
jobs
saying.
overall. So although there are more domestic manufacturing jobs, overall less jobs.
What is the sorry? No, not trying to pivot here. What was the last time? What was the last number we had for unemployment in America? What was that at?
The last number we
Was
had
it?
for unemployment in the United States, like the
Yeah,
unemployment rate for the last, I can look it up.
yeah.
Civilian unemployment rate right now it is 4.2%.
4.2. Okay. I hold the position. I believe the reason we have such a high unemployment rate is that people are just
That's
looking
not a
for a
very
job.
high unemployment rate currently.
Right. Yeah.
It's currently raising though, but and this is also an indicator for last month. What we're talking about definitely increased the unemployment. These tariffs
Gotcha.
have definitely increased unemployment. We will see that coming in the next month. How much that happened?
I hold the position that I think that the high unemployment rate is due to people not willing to work for low wages. A portion of it, I think plays a factor. So obviously, you're not going to have somebody that wants to work at like somebody doesn't want to go to the
They're
go
not
like do
willing to work for wages in which they will not be able to survive under.
correct. I think with these tariffs,
Obviously, would you work for wages that wouldn't allow you to survive?
exactly. So what I'm saying is this unemployment number we have it reflects people not willing to work because the wages are too low. Well, if we tariff these countries in
Why
America are
are
going to
their
be
wages too low?
where are the wages too low? Where
Why are
in
their
America?
wages too low? Yeah.
In America, because yeah, we have people. The one problem would be is that we unfortunately utilize immigrant workers as for labor.
You're okay. So then we should give them legal immigration status.
What would that do for? What would that do?
Wait. So then you want to keep people as slaves?
No, of course not.
But then how do you incentivize undocumented immigrants to get better working conditions? You give them legal status, right? You make it faster to go through the legal process to incentivize them to go through the legal process in the very first place, rather than like literally being undocumented in the country.
The issue with that is that the majority of immigrants in the country that are working, they're documented.
Wait, what did you just say?
A majority, I would argue, maybe 80 to 90% of immigrants that are working in America, they are documented.
Well, I'm confused what your point is.
Right. So you're saying give them legal status. If they're documented, they still have to be treated accordingly to how they would treat any other American citizen in terms of pay.
Yeah.
So they're receiving federal minimum wage, which needs to be raised. But the problem is that immigrants are being paid.
Why hasn't federal minimum wage been raised?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure. Do you know why?
Republicans, maybe?
Have Republicans been the ones that want to keep it that low?
Yeah.
See, I don't even see how 725 is a number still in the playing field here. It's
I
fucking
know,
insane.
right? It's pretty crazy, right?
I have no idea. Wait, Republicans can't play a full factor and can't fully factor into that. There has to be some sort of
It's got to like adjust for inflation, right?
yeah,
Like,
sure, exactly.
yeah, like if it's been the same since literally the Great Recession, I think there's a pretty big issue there because it's like coming up on like 20 years or 20 plus years.
Yeah, it's definitely 20 years. I remember my first
Yeah,
job.
pretty soon, coming up on 20 years.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I guess ultimately, listen, I will just say for this point, because I want to talk about other things, but for this point, right now, I will say that you are right in the sense that the economy doesn't look good. So we'll have to come back in about a month or two and see what's going on with that. We need time to see how it plays out. The same way with the whole Trump tariff in Canada, and then Canada came back and then they came out with that plan, and then everyone was saying, well, Trump's making a huge mistake with that, and then they put that plan into place with the border, the $1.2 billion plan, and then Trump backed off with the actual tariff. So who knows? Maybe Trump, for all we know, since he's no, if I mean, I will say this, he's kind of crazy. Maybe he'll just drop the tariffs in general.
Are you just he's gonna just drop the tariffs? I mean, it already caused the negative impact. So what deal do you think he's going to get that is going to cause that? Because the deal that you're referencing was made in December 2024 under the Biden
Wait,
Harris
dude,
administration.
now that you mention it, dude, maybe wait, hold up. Now that we think about it, let me think about this for a minute. Maybe he's intentionally crashing the market. He's got insider traders. They're getting in, and it's recovering, dude. Yeah, you know what, Parker? I think you're right. That's what you're saying ultimately, man. You are making a case that you think he's intentionally crashing the market for some sort of insider trading potentially. So, yeah, dude, isn't it your birthday? You're having a bad day like this, man.
Dude, I didn't even argue that, and I don't know why you're strawmanning my position that way.
Well, I'm not sorry. That is true. You didn't make that statement, but I'm saying it seems like it's being implied. Like
Why
you're like
didn't you address anything that I actually said?
well, I've addressed it so far.
You know what? I think you're implying. Wait, do you think Elon Musk did a salute?
Oh, potentially,
What do you think that's implicating?
potentially. I don't. I can't say he didn't. He didn't for sure.
What do you think? What do you think that's implicating?
When you say implicating, what do you mean? I understand.
Why are you confused what implication means after you just used it?
No, I know what an implication means. I'm saying you're saying he's implying. Okay, if he did do it, it's obviously the implication is not good. But again, we have no way of knowing if he said he did it because he said my heart goes out to you. He's done this historically before.
Really, really, when he does that historically, he does that.
What is it?
He does this.
I've never.
I've posted it on my Twitter. He does this. He said my heart goes out to you. That was radically different. He did it twice. You cannot tell me that when you see that, that's clearly not him being like, oh, I give my heart out to you, like how Charlie Kirk did it in the video when I asked him to do it.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Obviously, I mean, like, I'm not saying he didn't do it in that way. If he did do it in that way, obviously the implication is not good. I don't think that Trump should have put him anywhere near the White House. I'm not quite sure why he's still there. But yeah, obviously that would be implying some sort of white supremacy.
Oh, okay. So then you don't like Elon.
I actually don't like Elon now.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out some of the other videos that I posted on my channel. Plus, you can watch my daily live streams where I debate people every single day on this YouTube channel. Just make sure to subscribe and like the video if you have not already. And have a fantastic day, everyone.